Hey guys, I'm Alfred Spot and welcome to week 14 of the 2018-2019 Premier League review. If you are new to the series, what we do is we take a look at the past set Premier League results, we take a look at the Premier League table, and we finish off by looking at the top goal scorers. So here are the past set of Premier League results. These games were played on Friday the 30th of November and Saturday the 1st and Sunday the 2nd of December 2018. Also next to the games are the times in this video, so if you want to hear about a specific match, just go to the time next to the game and you'll skip out all the other crap. But without further ado, let's get into our first match. We start with the North London derby as Arsenal took on Tottenham. In the North London derby, Arsenal got the perfect chance to take the lead in the 8th minute when they were given a penalty. A free kick was swung into the box from the left. Jan Vertonghen goes up to challenge, has his arms way above his head. Mike Dean spots it, points to the spot. Pierre Aubameyang steps up to take it, and to be honest, it's not the best penalty. I think he scuffs it actually, and it just rolls towards the net, just left of the centre, but it was enough to beat Lloris as Aubameyang put it away in his North London derby debut. But Tottenham levelled it up on the half-hour mark as Eric Dyer made it 1-1. A free kick was whipped in towards the near post. They're trying to play an offside trap, but one man doesn't step forward and plays everyone on. Eric Dyer is there to flick it on. It sort of goes through the hands of Bernd Leno and in at the keeper's near post. And Tottenham got a golden chance to take the lead just 2 minutes later as they were given a penalty. Son Heung-min skips his way through on goal. He's at an angle. Rob Holding lunges in. There is the tiniest bit of contact. On the left ankle, on one of the ankles, there's a little bit of contact. Not enough to go throwing yourself to the floor. It is a dive. There is a little bit of contact, but not enough to just go flopping over like that. Really not enough. And Mike Dean pointed to the spot for the second time in this match. Harry Kane stepped up to take it and he sent Leno the wrong way and pounded one into the bottom left corner. But Arsenal levelled it up 10 minutes into the second half as Pierre Aubameyang got his and Arsenal's second of the match. Lovely goal. A ball was put forward towards Aaron Ramsey. It looks like Tottenham are going to deal with it, but Ramsey does well to poke it across the box to Aubameyang, and he curls one first time into the bottom corner to be the first man to reach 10 league goals this season. And Arsenal retook the lead in the 75th minute as Alexandre Lacazette got Arsenal's third of the match. Horror show for Juan Foyth as he completely airs the ball. Aaron Ramsey pounces on it, plays it forward to Lacazette. You think the chance is gone because the ball is a bit behind him, but he does well to recompose himself, shoot from the edge of the box, and a little deflection off of Eric Dyer takes it past Lloris and into the bottom left corner. And Arsenal double their lead 2 minutes later when another North London derby debutant, Lucas Torreira, not only got his first goal in the fixture, he got his first goal of his Arsenal career. You'd expect it to be Torreira slipping it to Aubameyang, but it's the other way around. Aubameyang slips it through the Tottenham defence into Torreira on the right hand side of the box, and the Uruguayan, as cool as he like, pounds it past Lloris and into the back of the net. And things would go from bad to worse in the 84th minute as Jan Vertonghen was shown a second yellow card and was given his marching orders. He got his first yellow when he handballed it in the area and he didn't recover since. He looked sloppy ever since conceding the penalty and never really recovered. And when a ball comes into the Belgian and it's a bit away from him, Lacazette comes in, tries to win the ball, Vertonghen panics, lunges in to try and win it, but he gets Lacazette right on the ankle and Mike Dean showed him a second yellow and Vertonghen got first pick of the showers. And that's how the game ended. I have no doubt in my mind that this was the best game of the season so far. It had everything you want. Red cards, goals, penalties, fights, mad thing. Tottenham had a bright start to the second half, but as soon as Arsenal got the leveller, Tottenham just crumbled. Arsenal were just too good for them. This win will make very pretty reading for Arsenal fans as they overtook their rivals in the league, and for the first time in a decade, Arsenal were forced to come from behind to win a North London derby, something that hasn't happened since 2007. And we move on to Manchester City versus Bournemouth. Man City took the lead in the 15th minute as Bernardo Silva opened the scoring. Bournemouth had started well, but one ball over the top took them out of it as Leroy Sané charges onto the pass. Asmir Begovic does well to get out and make the initial block, but he can't do anything about the rebound as it rolls into Bernardo Silva and he slammed it into the empty net. But Bournemouth levelled up just before half-time as Callum Wilson scored Bournemouth's first goal at the Etihad since 2015. Charlie Daniels had the ball on the right wing and Bournemouth make their way across the pitch and it ends up on the opposite side with Simon Francis, and he dinked an inviting cross into the middle right into the path of Wilson and he headed home past Edison. But Man City retook the lead 10 minutes into the second half when Raheem Sterling got his 8th of the season. He always scores against Bournemouth. It was no different here. Raheem actually starts the move by taking it past two defenders before finding right back Danilo on the overlap. He takes quite a hopeful shot, but Begovic can't hold on to it. Gabriel Jesus looks like he's going to get onto the loose ball, but he can't, but Sterling can as he comes in and smacks it into the roof of the net from 6 yards out. And City got their third in the 77th minute as Ilkay Gundogan gives City a 2-goal lead. When Man City click like they do for this goal, you just know something is coming at the end of it. Sensational as David Silva releases Leroy Sané in the box, low ball across, Gundogan and the German connection gets it done as the midfielder stabbed it home. And that's how the game ended. Man City had to work hard to overcome a determined Bournemouth side. The scoreline might suggest a game more comfortable than it actually was. It all seemed like it was going to be business as usual when Bernardo Silva opened the scoring, but City let off the gas a little too much and Bournemouth had a good spell in the final quarter of the first half. Bournemouth threatened again after half time, but when Sterling retook the lead for City, most people knew that City weren't going to let that lead slip again. But Bournemouth didn't lie down, to be fair to them. They put some good balls in the box that, if attacked, could have caused Ederson some major headaches. But Man City condemned Bournemouth to the loss and Man City's 100% home record stays intact. And we move on to Southampton versus Manchester United. Southampton took the lead in the 11th minute as Stuart Armstrong got his third goal in 2 games. Horrible defending from United as Nathan Redmond just runs along the edge of the box and he drags 5 Man United players out of position. 5 players go with him and just run next to him. He then laid it off to the young Michael Obafemi. He was in the box. Most young players would look to turn and shoot, but he shows great awareness to look up, spot Armstrong in a ton of space, and Armstrong from the right hand side of the box drills a shot low and hard back across goal and at the bottom left corner. And Southampton doubled their lead 10 minutes later as Cedric Suarez scored a stunner. It's a free kick about 10 yards out of the box. They've got some big guys in the wall, Fellaini especially. He looks up, gets it over the wall and into the top left corner. Not a bad way to mark your 100th league appearance for the Saints. But Man United pulled one back on the half-hour mark as Romelu Lukaku ended a 12-game goal drought to get United back in it. Pogba started the move by drilling a ball forward to Marcus Rashford. He outstrengths his man and opens up a ton of space behind him that Lukaku then moves into. Rashford slots it through the legs of a defender into the box and Lukaku runs onto it and slams it beyond McCarthy to cut the deficit in half. And United levelled it up 5 minutes before half time as Ander Herrera made it 2-2. A good break from United and more good work from Rashford after a poor start to the match as he darts down the right hand side, drives a low cross into the middle. There arriving at the front post was Herrera and the Spaniard produces a lovely flick goalwards that goes in via the touch of the keeper. And as the game ended, a great first half but a pretty crap second one. United recovered from a horrible start but still had to settle for a disappointing draw with another unconvincing display. Neither side were able to mount any real pressure in the second half and Southampton continue their bad form as they've only won once in the last 18 league games, and that's a run that falls back to last season. And yesterday morning I woke up to the news that Mark Hughes has been sacked as Southampton boss. I can understand why they're on a really poor run of results, but I think that this is probably one of their best results of the season. Gotta think, what the hell does Mourinho have to do to get sacked at this point? He just wants Christmas off, I reckon. By the time this comes out, Southampton may have named their next manager, but right now, as of filming, Ralph Hasenhüttl are the favourites. He was the former RB Leipzig boss, whilst Gary Monk and Kike Flores are both in the running as well. Back to the game though, United recovered from the awful start as Rashford inspired a comeback, but they need to be winning these types of games. And we move on to Newcastle versus West Ham. West Ham took the lead on the 10-minute mark as Javier Hernandez put the visitors ahead. Poor from the Newcastle defence as they just fall asleep and are looking for the offside call. It's nowhere near. They just allow Robert Snodgrass to get the ball onto his favoured left. The Scot just loops the ball into the middle, right to Chicharito, and he's made his career out of moments like this as he waited for it to drop, slotted it home from point-blank range under literally zero pressure. No Newcastle defender was around him. And West Ham doubled their lead in the 63rd minute when Javier Hernandez got his and West Ham's second. He had a multitude of chances in this game, but wasted a ton of them. But he finally got his second goal as Declan Rice hooks the ball onto Marko Arnautovic, who flicked it forward to Hernandez. He's onside and charged through on goal. It's a bit of an awkward angle, but the Mexican slotted it underneath Dubravka and into the net for his brace. And West Ham got their third in the 90th minute as Felipe Anderson got on the score sheet. Sub Jack Wilshere gets the assist as he played out wide to the on-running Anderson. Some players would have took it to the corner, but not the Brazilian. He charged through on goal, shrugged off a half-arsed challenge from Fabian Schär and fired it low and hard through the legs of the Geordie keeper and into the back of the net. And that's how the game ended, with Newcastle looking a shell of the team that has won 3 in a row. The game was a tale of 2 different attacks, one making the most of their chances and the other one was extremely wasteful and lacked any quality. Hernandez could have had a hat-trick easily and more if he scored some great chances, but this victory was only West Ham's second league win at Newcastle since 1998, and West Ham actually hopped up the table above their northeast opponents. And we move on to Cardiff versus Wolves. In the Friday game, Wolves took the lead in the 70th minute as Matt Doherty got a goal on his 200th league appearance for the club. Another set piece conceded from Cardiff. They just can't sort it out, and arguably they were the better side in the opening, but one corner and they're down as it was swung into the middle, headed towards goal, but a good stop from Etheridge denied that, but he can only palm it, and running onto it was Doherty, who slammed home from an extremely tight angle. But Cardiff levelled it up on the 65th minute as Aaron Gunnarsson put the Blueboards level. Another corner goal in this game, and this time Wolves failed to clear convincingly. They can't clear their lines, and it was floated back into the area. It's into Sean Morrison, who smartly and unselfishly cushioned the header into the middle, and there throwing himself at it was Gunnarsson, who acrobatically volleyed it home. And Cardiff took the lead 10 minutes later when Junior Hoylett scored a stunner. The Canadian picks up the ball at the top left of the corner of the box, he gets it onto his right, and when he lines up the shot, we're all expecting it to fly wide or over, but he ends up proving us all wrong as the ball rolls to him outside. He sends a guided effort into the top right corner via a little kiss of the bar. And that's how the game ended, with Cardiff producing a second half comeback to secure their third win of the season. This was a tale of two promoted sides. Both of these teams got automatic promotion last season and have started life in the Premier League quite differently. But with this game, it was the team that has been struggling who got what many will consider a shock win. Wolves started well in the league but have been struggling recently, and this was their 5th loss in 6 games and are winless since early October. Whereas for Cardiff, they jumped out of the bottom 3, but they gave Neil Warnock a win for his 70th birthday. And we move on to Huddersfield versus Brighton. It would take only 58 seconds for one of these teams to open the scoring, and it was Huddersfield as Matthias Jorgensen put the Terriers ahead. It came from a long throw-in that was launched into the middle. Brighton don't clear their lines, and we've got to give the assist to the Brighton fullback Bruno, who scuffs a clearance that loops up right into his own box, and Zanka beats everyone in the air, including the keeper, and headers home. But Huddersfield would have to play a majority of the match with 10 men as Steve Mounier was sent off on the half-hour mark. A proper centre-forwards tackle as Yes Basuma has the ball, and in comes Mooney. He doesn't slide in, he just basically comes in for a challenge, studs high, pretty much just under the knee of Basuma, and the ref showed him a straight red. And Brighton levelled it up in the 3rd minute of injury time at the end of the first half as Shane Duffy put the visitors level. Good work by Bruno to keep a ball in and win a corner and then take it quickly to get it going. He lays it off to Solly March, he swings in an excellent cross, and Shane Duffy's running onto it and powers a bullet header past Jonas Lössl. And Brighton completed the turnaround in the 69th minute as Florent Andone got his first goal in English football. It had been coming from the South Coast side as Solly March again whips a lovely ball into the area, and there getting in front of his man was Andone, and the Romanian nodded home from close range on his debut. Not a bad debut. And that was how the game ended, with Brighton putting an end to Huddersfield's 3-game unbeaten run. It looked like it could be a great day for Huddersfield as they took the lead with the fastest goal so far this season, but the red card, it just turned the game on its head completely. Brighton made their numerical advantage count and completed the turnaround. Their goal on the cusp of half-time gave them the confidence, and going into the second half as they pushed on from there as Brighton picked up the win. With no Glenn Murray, how have they won without Glenn Murray? I have no idea. And we move on to Crystal Palace versus Burnley. Crystal Palace took the lead 16 minutes into the first half as James MacArthur scored Palace's first goal from open play at Selhurst Park this season. Bit of luck about this one, but you need a bit of luck, and Palace will welcome it with open arms. They were the better side, and as James MacArthur swings in across from the right, Max Meyer tries to get onto it, but he misses it, and in fact, MacArthur's cross misses, everyone. Goes all the way through, hits the base of the post and into the Burnley net. And Palace put the game beyond any doubt 10 minutes from time as they doubled their lead. They had wasted so many good chances. Don't worry, I'll tell you all about that in a little bit. After wasting so many great chances, when Andros Townsend cuts inside from a good distance out, you'd be thinking this one isn't going anywhere near the goal, but he just cuts inside from the right, hits one like a rocket into the top left corner, leaving Joe Hart with no chance. And that's how the game ended, with Palace picking up their first home win of the season, and what a win it was. They were dominant from start to finish. Burnley looked another level of in this game. They had 4 shots in the entire game. I don't think they had 4, I think they had 2. It was either 2 or 4. It was horrible. Whereas Crystal Palace had, prepare yourselves, 29. Palace had 29 shots. They were all over them and wasted some great chances. The win though means Palace have ended a run of 8 league games without a win, whereas for Burnley, it's no wins in 7. And we move on to Chelsea versus Fulham. Chelsea took the lead just 4 minutes into the match as Pedro put the horse ahead. Poor start from Fulham as Jean-Michel Silly was caught in possession by N'Golo Kante in the middle, and then the French midfielder has acres of space to pick his pass. He slipped it through to Pedro on the right hand side of the box, and the winger stepped inside onto his left and fired back across goal and into the far corner. And Chelsea doubled their lead 10 minutes from time as Ruben Loftus-Cheek got a goal on his 50th Premier League appearance. Lovely football, a one-touch pass, and Hazard starts it. gives it inside, the ball finds its way to Loftus-Cheek, who flicks it back to Hazard. Hazard squares it across, and Loftus-Cheek there, and he confidently slotted it home. And as the game ended, by far an easy game for Chelsea this one. Giroud could have got a goal in this game, if not for Sergio Rico, who twice denied him, and in the second half, Fulham were pushing for the equaliser, and did threaten, but in the end, Loftus-Cheek secured the win. After last week, they needed that, and Fulham are still yet to win away from home this season. And we move on to Leicester versus Watford. Leicester had the perfect chance to take the lead in the 10th minute as they were given a penalty. Ben Chilwell slipped a good ball through to Vardy. He's bursting through on goal, but he's still got a lot to do, and he's at quite an angle. But Ben Foster panics, comes rushing off of his line, brings Vardy down, and the ref pointed to the spot. Jamie Vardy also stepped up to take, and he sent Ben Foster the wrong way and thumped it into the back of the net. And Leicester doubled their lead 10 minutes later as James Maddison got the goal. What a goal it was as well. Jamie Vardy turns in the middle of the pitch, lays it wide to Mark Albrighton. Albrighton then crosses it into James Maddison just on the edge of the box. There's still so much more he has to do as he controlled it perfectly, juggled it a few times to take 2 defenders out of the game, and then caught it on the volley low into the bottom right corner. And to cap off a horrible day for Watford, they would have to play the final few seconds with 10 men as Etienne Capoue got sent for an early shower. I don't even think this one's a foul. I don't think this is a foul, never mind a red card. Yeah, he goes in 2-footed, but he wins the ball. He's bang on the ball. If you look at this, he's definitely got the ball. But the ref was having none of it. Straight red. I don't even think it's a foul. And that's how the game ended. Whilst Watford did boss possession in the game, it was Leicester that constantly looked the more threatening, largely thanks to the pace they had in that front four. Vardy, Maddison, Albrighton and Demarai Gray looked like live wires in this match and caused that Watford defence numerous problems. With that pace up top, Leicester were content to soak up pressure and release one ball over the top that they knew would cause problems, and it constantly did, and they continued the same tactic throughout the entire game. After a belter start to the season by Watford, they have already began their slump that normally happens around February. They have only won 2 games in their last 10, whereas Leicester have been on a good run recently, and they leapfrogged teams up to 8th. And finally, we've got the Merseyside derby as Liverpool took on Everton. Decent first half with no goals, but the second half was something else. Really poor. Really, it was really bad. Constant misplaced passes in the middle, but neither team could capitalise, and it looked like it was going to end goalless. So when a free kick was taken short by Alisson on the halfway line to Trent Alexander-Arnold, he swings one in the middle, it's cleared, Van Dijk fluffs a volley, and the ball's going over the bar. That's that. 0-0. Point shed. But for some reason, Jordan Pickford jumps up, keeps it in play, it bounces off of the bar, bounces off of the bar again, falls back down to Divock Origi, who bundled it home with seconds remaining. Scenes. Absolute scenes. Klopp was on the pitch. Good job Anfield doesn't have a roof on it, otherwise the thing would have been blown off. Scenes. Unlike last time at Anfield, Everton weren't parking the bus, they were attacking and causing Liverpool problems at times. Gomez had a header save from point blank range, and the accidental rebound was then cleared off the line by Joe Gomez. There was 2 Gomez's on the pitch. It was really confusing. But Liverpool had chances as well, Mane twice going close. Another game which Everton failed to win at Anfield, and their wait for a win in the derby altogether continues, as they have failed to do so since 2010. They haven't won at Anfield since 1999. I was about 7 months old the last time they won at Anfield. I'm now 20. Irrelevant. Right, so that's all the games I've got for you this week. Before we go, let's take a look at the Premier League table and top goal scorers, starting off with that Premier League table. Still in the top 5, and as you can see, Manchester City are still top after beating Bournemouth. Liverpool stayed 2 points behind after that mad finish in the Merseyside derby. Chelsea are 3rd after beating Fulham. Arsenal are 4th after their win in the North London derby, and the other team involved in that game, Tottenham, dropped down to 5th. Moving on to the bottom 5, and Fulham are on the bottom after losing to Chelsea. Burnley in 19th after a really poor display against Crystal Palace. Southampton make up the drop zone and picked up a point against Man United, but they are now managerless. Huddersfield are 17th after letting a lead slip against Brighton, and Cardiff make up the bottom 5 after a good win against Wolves. Moving on to the top goal scorers, and as you can see, Pierre Aubameyang became the first player to reach 10 goals this season, as his double in the North London derby took him to 10 goals and 2 assists. Raheem Sterling's goal against Bournemouth took him to 8 goals and 6 assists. Aguero was out injured this weekend, so he stayed on 8 goals and 4 assists. Harry Kane scored from the spot against Arsenal, he moved to 8 goals and 1 assist. And make up top 5 is Eden Hazard, who didn't manage a lot against Fulham. He is on 7 goals and 5 assists. I'd just like to point out, Eden Hazard last week was first. It's been a crazy week for these guys. Crazy week. Rest of the lots to go for you this week. If you did enjoy the show, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be back on Thursday at 4 PM for the next episode of the Premier League review. Yes, we've got our first midweek episode of the season. It's December. It's getting to that sexy time of the season. There are games tonight and Wednesday, so I'll cover those on episode 15 on Thursday afternoon. To stay up to date about everything we do, it'd be best to follow us on Twitter. The link is in the description, or it's at portionofsport_. We've uploaded reactions because we can't live stream for a while because another copyright strike. So yeah, we did reactions to the North London derby and the Merseyside derby, both of which you can find in the top right corner. I'll be sure to do it this time because I always forget about this. Or I'll put a playlist at the end of the video as well, so you can just go watch. If you missed last week's episode of this though, that'll be popping onto your screen now, along with a link to the channel so you can subscribe. Also, there's the playlist for the reactions. But anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. I've been Mark from A Portion of Sport, and I will see you soon.